Hey guys, Dylan here. Welcome back to a brand new tutorial today. We're going to be learning how to color grade. Specifically, we're going to be learning how to color grade on this photo, turning it from this into this. Stay tuned and do not forget to like the video at the end. Before we get into this tutorial, what is color grading? Well, color grading is the process of enhancing an image depending on the environment and what's going on in it. There are many attributes to an image, such as contrast, color, saturation, detail, black level, and white point that can be enhanced whether for motion pictures, videos, and still images, and the list can go on and on and on. To really get good at color grading, it's almost a master of replication. Usually what I do for color grading is I will look at, a poster or a photo online or a movie, and I'll try and replicate those colors in a way that speaks to me. The reason why color grading is in place is, to give a feel, to give emotion, to give a sense of what's going on in the scene. Because what you're seeing right now, this is slightly color graded, and I'm doing this more for, a neutral perspective. But if I wanted to make this darker, this is now really moody. Or if I wanted to make it more happy, look, now we're in, some children's whatever. But you get the point. So color grading can be applied to many different fields of whatever you're trying to do in, the art industry. Specifically for this video, we're going to be applying color grading on a photo to give it more of that retro look. Here's some examples that I took inspiration from. As you can see, there's a lot of very vibrant red, very poppy type colors. And it works really well with this photo, especially with the outfit that I had my model, Lauren, wearing, with the very retro roller skates, the old style Coca-Cola shirt, and the high-waisted shorts. So yeah, you could technically take a Lightroom preset from someone else and apply it to your photo, but if the colors and the message that's in the photo or whatever it is don't really go together, then the color grade just won't look that good. Really, it's subjective, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to go for some kind of mood, some kind of feeling in the photo, understanding your color grade and the color grade process and taking inspiration from different sources can definitely help with that process. And that's pretty much the basics of color grading 101. So why don't we just go ahead and get into this tutorial and start editing that photo. So to get started in this color grading tutorial, I want to start off by saying that I do edit on an iPad Pro. It doesn't really matter what you use to edit, whether it's an iPad, your mobile device, or even a desktop or laptop. These principles, these tools, this whole tutorial will be able to be followed pretty easily, especially with how I will be explaining things. The software that I do use is Affinity Photo, as you can see. Here's the photo already opened up. The photo manipulating software that you use, whatever your first choice is, does not matter. It does not matter at all, because 99% of the tools that I'm going to be showing you is in every single program. Whether you're using Lightroom, Photoshop, Affinity Photo, mobile, or Affinity Photo on the desktop, or any other service, all of these tools are readily available at your fingertips. You just need to know how to use them, and that's what we'll be covering in this tutorial today. So to get started, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what this looks like with it edited, as I did show you a little bit earlier. We're going to go ahead and look at this group and see what we have in here. We have a brightness and contrast, a color balance, color adjustment, a lens filter, selective color, shadows and highlights, and a vibrance adjustment. And as you can see, when I toggle these, you can see how all of these affect the photo in each of their own ways. And I'm gonna be teaching you how to use all these tools and what each one of them does. So we're just gonna go ahead and hide that layer. Now we're gonna go ahead and open up this adjustments panel. Now, having a basic understanding of what your program is capable of doing and what some of the adjustments are built in will definitely help with this tutorial. as I will be showing you how to do this in Affinity Photo. Like I said, you can use this in whatever software you want, so do not feel like you are limited and that you cannot do this. We're going to go ahead and start at the top of the list with a brightness and contrast. Now what I want to do, is brighten this up and make it a little bit more punchy with some contrast, right? I'm going to open up the adjustments panel again, and I work very quickly, and once you start knowing what tools you want to use and what tools you'll be using consistently, you can just run through a bunch of edits really quickly. Now we're going to go ahead and go onto the color balance. Now color balance, I love this tool. Like the name implies, you can control the color balance of the midtones, highlights, and shadows. Now for this photo, I want to make it a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more, warmer and poppy. And since we have a lot of reds here, I'm going to push the midtones, make them a little bit more red, bring in some magentas, and bring in some yellows. We're going to go to the midtones as well with the highlights, make them a little bit more red. And you can already see some of that red popping through. Do the same thing with, actually we're going to put some green in there, and then put some yellow, get some shadows. Let's do some red shadows, right? Let's add some magenta in the shadows as well, and a little bit of yellow. Cool. Now we're done with color balance, and then with curves, there's a little secret that I learned how to do to make your photos a little bit more like silky and smooth rather than extremely punchy, which is what a lot of people do nowadays. I like to just make it just a little bit smoother. So I'm gonna just add a point here and a point up here. I'm just gonna drag this bottom point up just a little bit, and this top point up just a bit. There we go. Now we have some good contrast in there without it, too strong. Next tool I'm going to be using is the lens filter. I usually always have it on an orange color here, but the opacity is a little too much. We're just going to bring that opacity down just a tad. The next tool that I use is the selective color tool. I like to go all the way to the whites, neutrals, and blacks first and adjust those. Let's just go ahead and hide this here. And we're just going to kind of play with it, see how we like it. Go some yellows in there. Let's go to the neutrals, and you can see how the neutrals affects it. So I'm actually going to put some reds in there. Let's get that actually, let's go this way. Get some magenta out. Put a little bit of blue in there. Manipulate the blacks. Yes, we're going to go with some reds in there. And then we're going to go the opposite direction with this magenta. Or actually, no, we're going to add some magenta in here. And then some blues. There we go. And then go to the reds and really manipulate the reds. So we're going to make those reds pop here. It's really just kind of playing with the slider and seeing what you like. Like that. Your skin just a little bit more white. There we go. Now with the yellows, we'll be able to see those kind of affected in the background here, in this area. So I kind of want a little bit more yellow in there. Some magentas. Definitely blast the yellows. Let's manipulate the greens. We'll see that around here and here. Just very slightly though. With the cyans, we'll see that on the sign up here and a little bit in the door here, and then maybe just a tad trash cans, right? There we go. Same with the blues, magentas. You won't really see magentas that much. And now we're back to whites. There we go. Now we're done with the selective color. I'm going to go to shadows and highlights, bring those shadows up a bit and make those highlights pop just a tad. Then we're going to go to the vibrance and just blast that a little bit. And there we go. that is how quickly you can get those colors to pop. Now this one is a little bit cooler, and then the one that we just did is a little bit warmer. I actually kind of like the warmer look a little bit more. It gives it more of that summertime vibe rather than a coolish kind of vibe, even though I really do like this one. But yeah, I really like this. And that's basically it on how to color grade. It's not that hard of a process. Once you pretty much understand the fundamental tools of the color grading process, with, like I said, the color, the saturation, the detail, the contrast, all of those different tools that we literally just use in a span of less than 10 minutes, less than 7 minutes, I should say. Just your ability to create art and to but to connect with people emotionally through the way your photo, the way your video feels, will definitely make your work that much better. And I guarantee it, because I used to just kind of throw whatever colors I wanted on whatever photo and I just called it at that. But then I started understanding why people feel a different way towards photos, and videos and movies and everything online that has a type of look, that has that certain look, that certain feel. Your work will get a whole lot better. What I will be doing for you guys in the description below, please definitely check out the raw file, because I will be putting that raw file in the description down below, as well as creating a preset with those colors that I just made, so you guys can throw it onto that photo as a reference, so that when you're following this tutorial or you're using this tutorial to edit other photos, you have a reference point. Alongside both of those links, hopefully, whether it's going to be in this video or the next video, my website will be out, which will host all of my tutorials in one nice place. It'll host all of the download files for any of the tutorials that I have out there. I will also have my photo editing classes on there, as well as my presets. I'll have some freebies up there for you guys to download, as well as some to purchase to help support me and my full-time job, as this is what I do every single day. Not YouTube, but I do freelance work, corporate videos, and client photo shoots all the time. But please check out those links in the description. I'm sure they will help you out in one way or another. And please don't forget to like the video. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more tutorials, and drop a comment letting me know how you thought this video was and what I should do in the future. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.